So over the last couple of days, we've been taking lots of notes. We've been asking you to share your thoughts on the back wall. And this morning, I talked about those sort of 10 themes for an action plan. Now, this is just things that we wanted to get your insights on as we, Joanne and myself and the CELC networks all come together over the next 12 months or so. What do we need to work on together? Where can we put our attention to help move things forward? These are some of the themes that we will keep top of mind, but what we actually wanted to do was take a moment and vote on what we thought were some sub-actions that we saw coming up frequently and posted on the back wall that can help us focus even a bit further than those very high-level themes. So what we wanted to suggest was you take a moment and vote on this within the WOVA app. And what we've done, Kiana has created a poll. If you go to this session in your app, under the last day, she's going to bring it up on the screen here, the results. We only had room for 10 priorities, so we said we came up with 10 or with 9, and we left an other category. What we'd like to ask you to do is look at the 9 different priorities in that poll that should pop up when you open the poll button on this session. Not seeing it yet? Let's see, try again. So she'll launch that momentarily. Then you'll see sort of 10 priority areas with one of them being other. We'll get a sense of like, what are your top 3? If you could pick your top 3, and if one of them is an other, we can see what those might look like. Are people seeing that yet? No?
Can you refresh?
It's on the home page. Ah, thank you. Go to the home page. People seeing it? Do you have a mic there, Kiana? Do you want to walk people through it? Homepage, quick polls. Additional resources, polls. Vote for your top. Take a moment, look them over, give us your top 3. We'll broadcast the results. Of course, we weren't able to capture everything. It was just a flavor of what was shared, and we're going to have to take some time to digest things we've heard and learned. But we really don't want to help, work this forward in the coming months, and we're really thinking short term. Like, what can we do in the next 12 months to a year, working together with people here? Let's see what comes in. Scroll down. Okay, what's reaching the top there? Data and harmonized frameworks for data collection. Case studies, success stories, leveraging cultures. Give you a couple more minutes.
Can we vote more often than once?
Yes. Is there any others at the bottom? Scroll down.
It's yours.
Oh, only one so far. What's that?
Oh, the WOVA? Good.
Cool, eh?
Give us some feedback when you do.
There we go. 62 votes. Or 62 people have voted. That's great. That's better. Okay, capacity building for incubators and hubs. Improving access to data still up there. Roll up to the top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, finance sector. Anyway, keep giving us your thoughts. Again, top 3. Are there any others at the bottom? And if so, did anybody put other that would like to share what was top of mind to them? What's missing? What can we prioritize?
There should be a space you can type in, right?
No.
No? Otherwise, if we miss the boat.
Anyway, thank you for contributing. And we won't have to stop here if you'd like to continue voting here. We'd love to take this away. We'll reflect on it. And like I said, one of the things we're going to do from after the event is share a summary around with everybody that was here in terms of collaborating photos and links and resources, as well as summaries from the different sessions that were where we had note takers throughout both days. We're also asking speakers for permission to share their slides, and we'll have those PowerPoints posted on the WOVA app. The WOVA app is still active for at least another month, so you can still connect with people or download things from that site. Lastly, just for your input, one more thing we'd like to do while you're here and kind of here in real time. We'd love to get some instant or real-time feedback. So what we'd ask you to do is just do a quick QR shot, and we've got just a few questions, short questions, hopefully, that don't take more than 2 or 3 minutes to get your input on the spot. That'll just help us for the future if we think about doing this again, which we are, and I'll tell you a bit more about that momentarily. How can we make it better, more value-driven, more interesting in terms of the topics or the formats or the ways to connect?
If you cannot access the QR code, you can also go to the session chat. There's a URL in there. Just click it.
Wow, tech extraordinaire. Take a moment there. Need some Jeopardy music.
Yeah. She's going to find it and watch this. So we really appreciate the live feedback, but certainly not your last chance to chat to us. I think you now know who both Paul and I are, and you have our credentials on WOVA going forward. Obviously, as we begin to think about planning a next summit, we continually want to work with all of you and certainly want to get feedback from you as things bubble up in your mind. Post-event for sure, but we have a zillion thank yous to make, so I'm going to rattle through some because there were so many brilliant contributors to this event, and that's really what made it a success. First of all, our speakers and moderators. Goes without saying, you can't have an event like this without extraordinary input, and we certainly had that in spades from afar across ponds, and certainly locally as well. So thank you very, very much. To those sponsors, can't have a venue like this if you can't pay for it. And I think we got really good feedback without a doubt at all that this was an extraordinary venue for us, and it costs money. So thanks so much to the sponsors. And I might say, not just the funding, but sponsors really dug into the agenda with us as well, thinking through what their circular objectives were and how they could weave that into our agenda and actually participate. So we really loved that part as well. To our planning committee members, we mentioned them at the beginning and the opening yesterday, and we thank you again. Paul and I certainly had our hands on all the levers, but we couldn't do it with extraordinary brains right across the country to help contribute to our agenda, and you all know who you are, so thank you very much to you as well. And the venue itself, the food, the catering, the AV. We've overcome some AV issues throughout the 2 days, and of course the venue staff as well. Incredible service, thank you very much. And a stunning space, of course. And to the CELC, the TNS, the Smarts Prosperity Institute, and of course the CIC team as well, our endless and tireless work behind the scenes that you don't get to see, but we're just sort of figureheads up here. It all happens over there. So thank you very much.
I want to just also say that for some of our speakers and our really close partners, we're working with Unwrap It. You might have seen them out in the hallway. They're one of our CLC partners. They provide a platform for gifting without having to have a product. So it's gifting as a service. And we're working a little bit with them to say thanks to some of our closest partners and speakers. So thanks to them also for collaborating with us to make that happen. And then do you want to speak about what comes next? All right, well, we have to think about this a little bit more in terms of debriefing and getting feedback from all of you about whether there'll be another Circular Economy Summit, but what I can say is initial conversations are looking very, very strong that we'd love to do it again, but in 2025 and collaborating and to likely host it in the city of Montreal. So we're looking at opportunities to do that in other locations, and Montreal has generously offered to work with us, so thank you, and we'll be working through the details of that in the future. But just to say thanks again to all of you delegates, and also for all the people that were able to stay for the entire 2 days. You've been a breath of inspiration and energy, and like we said at the beginning, hopefully you can take what you've learned over the last few days and the new connections and help accelerate the work that you're all doing, which is what we need. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.